Bum, 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 bum. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum bum dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum da 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 dum ba da da dun da 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 dum bum ba da dum ba da 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 dun da 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 dun da dun da da dun da 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 dun dun. Here come all the Facebook people and my mighties. Hello. Hi everyone. Hi, my mighties. Hi, Facebook people. It's wonderful to see you. Boy, you're all looking good. How are you? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joette Calabrese, and I'm a homeopath, and I am here to teach you homeopathy. Not classical, no, oh, nay, practical. I'm going to teach you homeopathy in a very simple manner, much simpler than the way I learned and practiced for 15 years. And so I'm going to teach you the way that I know now. And so here we go. Let's talk about, happy St. Valentine's Day. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Happy St. Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Hello from India. Wonderful to see you from Idaho, India and Idaho. You know, they're close. Michigan. Wonderful to see everyone. Kentucky. Hello, Tampa. It's Rachna. Hi, sweetie. Hi from Wisconsin. Wonderful to see everyone. All right, let's talk, shall we? Given that it's St. Valentine's Day here in the US, I made it sound like it was going to be something perhaps romantic. It's not so romantic, but it does have to do with the urogenital area. And that's kind of what we associate Valentine's Day with, don't we, to a certain degree? So I'm saying happy Valentine's Day. Now we can talk about a remedy for the male reproductive system. Listen, it's not just male. I thought I'd use that as a little tease, but this medicine that I'm going to be talking about tonight is male and female, and it's reproductive. This is a medicine that you need to know. You need to own it. You need to own the information, and you need to own the medicine because we live in strange times, don't we? Um, and we want to own not only our information and really get it, but we want to own the remedies. So I'm going to give you the potencies that I think you ought to purchase if you don't already own them. And tonight we're going to go through my Materia Medica. Should you be interested, this is what it looks like, and I'm going to be reading from that. And the medicine we're going to be talking about tonight is Conium maculatum. Conium, Conium, conium. Maculatum is Maculatum. Conium maculatum. So that's medicine. And this is a great medicine. The Banerjees have taught me how to use much differently than the way I learned originally. So Doctors Prasanta and Dr. Prateep Banerjee have used this medicine for conditions such as tumors in the urogenital area, specifically the prostate, whether it's soft tissue. It is usually a hard tissue tumor. It can be either malignant or not. But that's not what we're going to talk about so much today. What we're really going to talk about is this remedy being useful for the functionality of the reproductive system, both male and female. So for men, this is the medicine for enlarged prostate, prostatitis. It is one of our best. It's where we always start. Almost universally, we start there. If there's no other extenuating circumstances, we're going to start with conium maculatum, and I love using it in a 6. Yes, a 6C. Well, see, it depends on where you live, what you can find, and usually it's a 6C. 6C? Yes, 6C. And so it's also for impotence in men, premature ejaculation. Often the man has high sexual drive, and yet he has this contradicting condition, such as impotence. So it's a very important medicine for men and women going into just the change of life. So it's the 50s, late 40s, more often 50s, more often in their 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. This is where this medicine shines. It's not going to be used I have never seen it used. I've never used it in a young man. Or let's see, if I use it in young women, I have, but not very often. More often than not, it's around the change of life. So it's for an enlarged prostate, and for men, it is specifically valuable if there is a heavy feeling in the perineum. Interesting, isn't it? This is all very urogenital, mostly genitalia, but reproductive. Let's put it that way. Okay. Conium maculatum, conium maculatum, maculatum, conium maculatum. Even for acute prostatitis, yes, why not? Yep, absolutely. Conium maculatum, absolutely. It is a beautiful, beautiful medicine. Now, we talked about it for men. There's a lot more to it for men. We don't want to go too deep into this. I rarely talk about tumors, but I do want to say that Dr. Prasanta and Dr. Prateep Banerjee have used it to abort certain kinds of cancerous tumors, even even in late stages. Even in late stages. Yes, my friends. It matters not in homeopathy whether or not a condition is early stage or late stage. That's all allopathic thinking. In homeopathy, it is what it is, regardless of the condition, whether it's a mild case of rheumatoid arthritis or it's a severe case of rheumatoid arthritis. It is rheumatoid arthritis. We don't section it off and say, well, this is a late case. You're in trouble here. We don't think that way. And it is something that is, there are a lot, let me put it this way. No matter what it is in conventional medicine, homeopathy, often it's the exact opposite. All right. So I said impotence, premature ejaculation, high sex drive, enlarged prostate, heavy feeling in the perineum, interrupted urination. So the flow is interrupted. Now let's go that heavy feeling. Now let's go to the female side of the picture. Heavy feeling in the uterus, uterine fibroids. Oh yes, my friends. Bulky uterus, whether it's their fibroids or not, it's a heavy feeling, or thickened uterine lining. It's also, and we use that conium in a 3. The others we use in a 6. Well, now that I'm talking about uterine fibroids and bulky uterus, we use it in a 3, conium 3. Cystic ovaries. Now with cystic ovaries, we can use conium all by itself in a 3, but the genius of the Banerjees is to use conium mixed with sepia. So they called it consepia. Yes, one word, consepia. In that case, they used conium 3 sepia 6. Not the only way it can be done, but it is often the way it's done. It's also, let me see. I want to get the cone sepias in here. What else do we have that's cone sepia? Cone sepia is a medicine for women. This is not because sepia is a heavily weighed remedy towards the female gender, especially older women, women who have had children, women who have had tinkering with their hormones. What's a hormone that's been tinkered with? um, Using synthetic hormones. So, birth control pills. After having taken birth control pills in their 20s, it can show up in their 50s when they're going through menopause that things are not so right. Their mother had no trouble. Their sister had no trouble. They didn't take birth control pills. The grandmother had no trouble. The aunts had no trouble. No one had any trouble until the generation of using the birth control pill. Or how about suppressing the menses? That's a hot one now, huh? I talked to a woman not too long ago who said, I don't get my period. Really? Why don't you get your period? Tell me what's going on. She said, oh, well, no, I get the shot. What shot? The Depo-Provera. Yes, I get that's still around, believe it or not, Depo-Provera shot. I said, well, let me give you some information on that. She said, oh, no, my doctor loves it. She doesn't get her period either. What an upside down world. What an upside down world. Yeah, there you go. Suppress the woman's ability to bring forth life, the one thing her body is most capable, most gloriously moved towards. And let's just not just abandon it. Let's just suppress it so the body doesn't know what to do with it. The body just says, I quit. I can't take it. One shot, no menses for an entire year. You bet. And so that is what often leads into, I know we're not talking about sepia so much, but because cone sepia, that combination is so glorious, I want to mention sepia because sepia is a medicine for after having had tinkering of the hormones, synthetic tinkering. So what else could do that? How about synthetic hormones? Oh, well, hey, you're having hot flashes? You better get on those drugs, right? Isn't it interesting? I think the jig is up, and I've said this before. I feel as though it's all being exposed now. The emperor has no clothes, and so he's looking really foolish. There's not just one he, there are many, and there's also a she in there that are making so many mistakes now, we're catching them. And I think that people are starting to question big industry more than ever, including the pharmaceutical industry, organizations that have been, taken over, shall I say, worldwide medical organizations, public health organizations. It's all coming down, and I think people are catching on. And so they're recognizing the lies. And so the best method that I can think of is to deal with health is to go with Mother Nature. Start with that. And we don't want to suppress symptoms with synthetics. We always pay for that in the long run. So then we can go to homeopathy much more readily. Healthcare is in big trouble. You bet it is. The whole thing, the whole darn picture. Yep. You bet. And so, yes, conium-3 sepia 6. And normally when we use these medicines in these low potencies like this, we use them twice daily. No, you don't take conium 3C if you were on birth control pills at one time. No, we do not do that. We do not treat something that could show up. We treat something that is showing up. If there are ailments from having done so, and you know that, and it's proven on some level, then we use it. Taking birth control pills can lead to something, but we don't use homeopathy because we did something long ago. Because we took antibiotics 20 years ago for maybe 5-10 years does not mean we use one of these homeopathic medicines because we did that. No, because your body may have corrected it. We only use these medicines because they are medicine. They're not supplements, they're not vitamins, they're not herbs, they are medicine. And so, in that way, we use these medicines only when there is pathology. Something is wrong, hence we use it. Now, there are occasional situations in which we might use something prophylactically, but that's because we know what is forthcoming within the next, say, few hours or so, next day. So, let's just see here what we've got. Oh, let's see. Now, I'm telling you this information. There's a lot more to conium, a lot more to concipia, a lot more to these hormonal issues, particularly for women. And if you are interested, and I urge you to be interested and not just take what I tell you today and then bam, apply it. I'm teaching you. I'm not prescribing. I urge you to seriously consider getting in one of my gateway study groups where you'll meet people of like mind from all over the world. And also my feminopathy course, which is very specific and exactly how these medicines are used, because it's not about just here's the medicine and you take it. Because after 6 to 8 weeks, once things shift, now what? Now what do we do? You need to know what to do. You need to know how to manage the case, so to speak. And that's what those courses teach you. I don't want you just hopping in and taking these medicines just willy-nilly. I'm teaching, not prescribing. Okay. All right. Let's just see what folks are saying. Let's see what folks are saying. What about never been well since, even if it's been 20 years? Well, never been well since a specific condition. Yes, we're going to use that. Absolutely. Whether it was 20 years ago or it was last week. You bet. That's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, Gateway. Donna says Gateway courses, the Gateway study groups will be a game changer. It really is a game changer. I've taken Gateway 1 and 2 and Good Gut, Bad Gut, next skin. And the next one would be the skin one. You bet. I can't urge you enough. No, homeopathy, sorry, feminopathy does not cover the prostate because, women don't have prostates. Now the prostate, I've not done a course for men. I'm sorry, gents, but I've not done that because for kind of obvious reasons. One of them is that most of the people who do this, if you look at these names, they're all women. Now I realize that they want to help their men, their husbands, their sons, their fathers, their brothers. But I've not done that. And it does need to be done. There's no doubt about it. But I've just given you some pretty darn good information. And let's see what else we've got here. Excuse me. I'm going to scroll down on this. And succeed for prostate issues. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. That's how it works. Melissa says you use this for a UTI. I would not think of conium for a urinary tract infection, at least in a woman. It is a possibility in a man, but the medicines that we use for urinary tract infections we could consider this, but if you want to know how to use a urinary tract infection remedy, you go to my blog and you do Joette Calabrese. You don't have to go to the blog. Just put it in your browser. Joette Calabrese, urinary tract infection. Oh, yeah. Don't forget about boomeropathy. I know I've talked about how I would like to do a course on baby boomers, and I was going to call it boomeropathy. And I will do that. But now we've gotten so entrenched in the academy this year. We're 5 months in, and it's been absolutely glorious. And what I mean by that is I'm loving every minute of it. I'm loving every minute. And I'm hoping that I believe many of the students are pretty happy too. Great info on that course. You bet. Minute each week and choose one of her courses to tell us about them. I'm trying to determine which course I want to start with. Well, I don't want to be too salesy. That's why I don't do that kind of stuff. But I will tell you this: most of the courses, looking at all the courses, let's ask everyone. What does everyone think? Which is your favorite course? Is my favorite because I give the most information on case management. It is so common that it's needed that I think that you would find it most valuable. You could use Thuya for direct infection. Absolutely. And Thuya is also great for soft tumors. Good gut, bad gut. You bet, Nancy. You bet. Allergic, says Pat Haynes. So I have a course titled Allergic and another one titled Good Gut, Bad Gut. Antibiotic Alternative, said the other one. Yeah, these are all my courses. Good gut, bad gut. Good gut, bad gut. Yes. Yeah. Survivalist, says Catherine. Many people have their favorites generally are good gut, bad gut, survivalist, and antibiotic alternative. And the survivalist, of course, is not really a course. It's really a book, a very thick book. Looking for it here. Oh, there it is. I go this way. See, I'm going in the prompter, so it's backwards. It's a thick book, very thick, very intense. Pain is my favorite, says Rachna. I love good gut, bad gut, and the allergy and skin. And I want to take survival. So these are, you see, my folks in my Mighties group are those who have been taking a lot of the courses. Good gut, bad gut, says Yvonne. Was it Yvonne? No, that's Yvonne says she loves the academy. It's wonderful to see you all here. You bet. You bet. Banerjee protocols indicate conium 1M, one dose every 10 days in liquid, plus cantharis. Yes, you can do it that way as well. There are many different ways to do this. I'm trying to teach you the simplest first, and then you need to branch out with the additional courses, etc. Okay? It's hard to pick a favorite, says Jill. I got my survivalist guide in the mail today, says Elvira. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. My friends, do think about if you're not in a gateway study group, do join one. If you've already been in one, join it again. You've already paid for it once. You don't have to pay again. It's a great way to meet people because the people that you meet in these groups, just like you see how people are helping each other right now, and they are offering information that can be useful to all. That's exactly what they do in those groups because most people in those gateway to homeopathy study groups have, not most, some of them have taken other courses. Some are brand new, know nothing about homeopathy. So I believe it's one of the best ways to go. So let's get back to conium. If I missed anything, menorrhagia. Scanty menses, conium 6. Scanty menses. Yep. Now, people ask me, what is scanty menses? What is heavy uterus? That's up to you to figure out. I'm not going to give you the definitions. Go online, see what you can read. These are terms that are old terms, old world terms, old medical terms. That's what they used to call them. But that heavy feeling in the perineum, heavy feeling in the uterus, if someone has it, they know. If you don't have it, you don't know. And it's kind of that simple. That's kind of the way it works out. So this person says, I'm taking Gateway, but I suffer allergies and food and eczema. I'm taught that everything lies within the gut health. So my learning tells me good gut, bad gut, and my allergy skin will heal. What are people's thoughts? No, I don't think it's that simple. I do believe that gut health is very important. But I don't believe it's all related to the gut. I'm sorry. I know that's a very naturopathic way of looking at things. That's not the way we look at it in homeopathy. We don't want to deny that things have to do with it. And I have seen the gut clears up and the skin follows and the allergies follow. But I also have to tell you, my friends, I've seen a gut that has no trouble. They can eat anything, no conditions whatsoever related to the gut. Never had a gut problem, never took an antibiotic. And yet they have eczema. So it's very hard when you've been studying one paradigm, naturopathy, for example, and then switch to another. Homeopathy is a completely different paradigm. Okay. Catherine, my daughter might have that from the HPV shot. I don't know what that question was. Okay. All righty. What else do we have here? But it's about microbes. Well, yes and no. Yes, could be. Some people get eczema and allergies from other issues, pollen, for example. And I know that is the strong opinion of naturopathy, but it used to be my opinion too, as a matter of fact. But through the years, I have learned that the gut is not always 100%. It's very important, no doubt about it. What we eat counts. But I also am of the ilk, after having had food intolerances a good part of my life. Well, I would say probably my entire life up until the last several years. And I've been on every diet there is. I was very limited as to what I could eat. And I was eating the perfect food. At least I believed it was the perfect food. And it didn't make enough of a difference. It wasn't until I found homeopathy and it switched everything. And I did not use a medicine that was specific for the gut. I used medicine that was specific for asthma and for respiratory conditions. All right. Is this useful for uterine polyps? It's not my first. I mean, we can. Lichen sclerosis. No, I would not use it for lichen sclerosis, but lichen sclerosis is covered in my course Feminopathy. Lichen sclerosis is a tough one, and I'll tell you why that is. Because usually there have been lots and lots of suppressive drugs being used in advance. And it also is a difficult condition. It takes a long time. Yep. All right. Kim said, oh, it's going too fast. I can't keep up. Your story resonates with my situation so much, says Megan. Yes. Yep. Would it help with spermacocele? This is a varicocele. That's what I think this person is saying. Spermatocele and varicoceles in young 22-year-old. It's not my first choice. No, I think of that more as a vascular issue. I might be wrong, but that's the way I look at that. Breast cysts, no. Different for breast cysts. Cervical cysts, possibly, yes. Morrison mentions conium for paralysis of the bladder. Yes, urination interrupted despite straining, then flows easily after he relaxes. Hope this is helpful, says Lisa. You're absolutely right. Roger Morrison. This is Roger Morrison's Materia Medica. Now, you saw how tidy mine was? Look at this book. And it's not because I don't love it. It's because I do love it. I have used this book, Desktop Guide, Roger Morrison, for many, many years. And it's been rebound. This will be when I can finally find another binder. I've not been able to find a binder. It's a very fragile book. But this is what my book looks like inside. It's all my notes. Every page, all notes. This is how I keep up with what I've learned through the years, how I handle the courses that I used to take, the readings that I still read, the et cetera, et cetera. So this is my baby, and I think this is a good book because it's a desktop guide. But for me, more importantly, it's because it's where I kept all my notes. This is I can't imagine living without this book. I don't use it as much as I used to because I follow protocols, and it makes it much easier. And most of the protocols I have memorized. So now you know one of my if anyone knows a bookbinder, I would be very uncomfortable sending this off to someone. And in another city or something, I would have to be insured, and I don't. There's no money that could cover this. This book represents I don't know, 35 years. I don't know if this book is that old. Maybe it's more like 30 years of my studies. When was this? What edition was this? 1993. So not quite 35 years. So there we go, my friends. It's let's call it a wrap. I'll meet you next week. Same time, same place. And what do I say? Honk, honk. Let's go. Good night to all of you. God bless.